One of the questions we hear most often from the families with whom we work is, you've got great frameworks, but how do they all fit together? And so what we'd like to do today is take you through how each of them integrate, how they fit, and why it's important to connect all of them as you think through your work. The first framework that we talk about with our families and our owners is the three-circle model. The three-circle model has three circles laying on top of each other like a Venn diagram. There's one for family, there's one for owners, and then there's one for people in the business. And when a family starts and a family business starts, most often those three circles are on top of each other. In many ways, when those three circles are on top of each other, everyone has the same interest. There are very few differences about what we're trying to accomplish as a family, as an ownership group, as employees in the business. But as we know, those three circles from Tajiri and Davis separate over time. Family grows larger. You have children, you have grandchildren who may not live in the same place. The ownership group grows larger. What may have once been owned by 4 or 5 people is now owned by 10 people. What happens when those three circles separate is you end up seeing that different people have different interests. What's interesting about the three-circle model is that it's a social model that highlights the different interests of people. Then, as those interests separate, families are forced to make different decisions that they're not used to. So the three-circle model then takes us to the conflict spiral. Conflict spiral is natural. It happens in family business as those family businesses grow. At the top level, interests diverge. Below that, positions harden, and so on and so forth. And so we highlight that conflict spiral helps you understand why, when the three circles separate, things can be more challenging or more ambiguous. What's interesting, and where most families get stuck, is in the conflict spiral, they fail to figure out how to make good decisions together. When that happens, what we find useful is to move from a social model that highlights people's interests, the three-circle model, to the four-room model, which focuses much more on decision-making. And what's really important in that four-room model is figuring out who are the right people to be in the right room at the right time with the right information, making the right decisions. And the four-room model can help you do that as you think through all of those questions. And so once you've once you're thinking about setting up your 4 rooms, then it becomes important to focus on the ownership space and the owner room. And in the owner room, we then turn our focus from the 4 rooms to the 5 rights. The 5 rights, of course, are the right to design what type of enterprise you want, the right to decide, to set up your 4 rooms, if you will, the right to value, to talk about what your purpose is in owning the business together, the right to inform, what information would you like to have, what information will you share with owners and will you share across your 4 rooms, and the right to transfer your assets, your capabilities, your roles. So perhaps now understanding how each of these frameworks fit together, you can have better conversations with your family members and your fellow owners as you think through some of those important decisions, or as you try to understand why there is a communication breakdown, or as you try and understand why people have different interests. Ideally, putting these ideas together can help you craft your own narrative and set up the right conversations so that you can help you and your fellow owners and your family members to get unstuck, or even better, to chart a path for the future.